Thank you, Ted. Welcome back here to the show at Magic 98.9. I'm Michael Horn on the PM show.
And I'm Paul Stern.
And I'm Giggles.
That's Pam McNeely, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, he had a call time on Tuesday.
Yes.
And he was late to the call time, and apparently his agent called and said he had to go to the doctor, which is why he was late.
I have to go to the doctor.
And he did make it to the set on time, but he's been renewed for 2 more years, and he makes $1.8 million a week on his salary for this show.
That's a lot of
Can he make a living off that?
Yeah, I think so.
1.8 a week.
3 porn stars at a crack starts adding up, but
I ain't touching that line with a 10-foot pole. Ted, what do you think about that one?
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
Thank you.
CBS recoups that money pretty quickly because a spot on, if you advertise on 2.5 Men, costs over $200,000 per 30-second unit. So they make a lot of money on the show. They spend a lot of money on the show. They made $4 million in syndication per episode. So there's a lot of money on the line. Chuck Lorre, who's the creator and showrunner, is just about to hear.
They want to fire him, but they can't because Charlie Sheen said he is the best functioning addict around.
Wait a second.
I'm sorry.
I was going to mention, I think Charlie Sheen actually tried to get fired by asking for an exorbitant amount of money.
Right, and they paid him. The problem is he showed up after the Weekend Bender 25 pounds lighter than the show that they taped before.
Wow, so they put stuffing on him.
Yeah, so they didn't know what to do with him, so they were going to postpone the taping. But in his contract, if he shows up, they can't postpone the taping. They have to pay him. So he was saying, it doesn't matter what I look like. I'm here, and I'm ready to act, and I know my lines.
He has a head litigator now, as Charlie Sheen does. Marty Singer is threatened to sue Warner Brothers over what you just said, right?
Right.
Wow.
So now they're trying to figure out how to rework the episode because his weight loss is so noticeable versus the last one they shot.
Why don't they just write into the fact that he went on like Nutrisystems or something?
Lap band.
Yeah, lap band.
I just say they should do one of those Dennis the Menace things, like when Joseph Kearns passed away, like mid-season. They just bring on like another actor and then just say that it's.
Don't say anything, right?
Yeah, to do the Darren on Bewitched deal.
Remember that when that happened? I remember watching the show when that happened. I was like, "Whoa, that's not the same guy."
Wouldn't it be cool though if they got some kind of an edgy actor that's like Charlie Sheen light? And that just said, hey, Charlie Sheen, you know what? We don't need you anymore.
You know, I'm thinking about this, and the actor that I would cast in that role.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
They'd have the same problem.
But at least he needs the money. He could make the 1.8 million. Okay, what else you got?
Well, in related disturbing
jail news, yes. What else?
Apparently, Kelsey Grammer likes to dress up in women's clothing.
Really?
I would never have guessed.
Now, how do you know that?
Well, Camille, his ex-wife.
Isn't she one of those housewives of Beverly Hills or something?
She is. And she was on Howard Stern this morning and said...
Oh, yeah. See, so I don't believe any of this stuff. It's all...
She said that Kelsey's not gay, but strongly suggested he appeared in the cross-dressing La Cage aux Folles because he liked women's clothes.
Oh.
So, there's a little inside
Well, maybe that's true. That's why he did the role. Maybe he likes them, but does that mean he dresses up every day in women's clothes? And didn't the famed baseball player George Brett used to wear women's pantyhose or something?
Not George Brett. I thought it was Wade Boggs.
Oh, Wade Boggs. Pardon me, George Brett. Poor George Brett, if he's listening right now, he hates me. I don't mean that.
Kansas City Royals All-Star.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Pine tar incident.
The head of the FBI was also putting women's clothing. That they're doing a movie about.
J. Edgar Hoover?
Yes.
J. Edgar Hoover. You know who also I heard a rumor of that kind of likes pantyhose?
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Okay, what else you got? What about Tom Cruise is going to skip the Oscars? Is this true?
No.
Oh,
he's not nominated. If you're not nominated,
because Anne Hathaway's because she had the parody or something on his lovely wife Katie, he's going to skip the report. Oh. The report says Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, they're going to boycott the Oscars.
They weren't invited.
It's not. They don't know. They say to make a point for a social cause. It's because they can't take a joke. Basically,
that's a bunch of BS.
That's what they're saying.
If you're
here,
not nominated, you don't get a front row seat unless you're Jack Nicholson.
But apparently they were invited, and supposedly they're upset at the Oscar host Anne Hathaway because she performed a submissive zombie-like impression of Katie Holmes on Saturday Night Live way back in November.
It was very, very funny.
And so they're upset about that now.
Yeah.
Somebody said it was a pretty much spot-on impression, wasn't it?
It was dead on. And no, they're just making news out of no news. The fact that they weren't included because they're not nominated.
Katie Holmes and Anne Hathaway were friends once upon a time, they say, but now seems that the power couple is feeling a little betrayed.
I think Anne Hathaway is doing just fine not being friends with Katie Holmes.
Really?
Yes. She's
Who's Katie Holmes?
Tom Cruise's wife.
Well, I for one will miss them. I was going to watch the Oscars if,
Yeah, just to see them sitting in their seats.
if Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes are there.
You like the way they
I
sit
like
in an
'em.
audience?
It's not an Academy Awards if Tom Cruise is not there. I'm sorry. He adds a certain.
Did you like the way the
and
camera
Katie
pans to
Holmes
Tom Cruise?
adds a certain glamour to the whole thing. That's all I got to say. We'll take a break and
crazy.
come back with more. What are we listening to?
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
I heard that.
Who's watching your home?